WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. In the legal system, once a person is arrested, that marks the first step in the investigation. The final step doesn't come until a jury issues a verdict of guilty or not guilty for the person being accused of a crime. But it's what happens in between those two steps that's often the key to the outcome. Investigators collect crucial pieces of evidence to strengthen their cases. Our Quentin Smith speaks with a legal expert about this. Quentin, how important is it for prosecutors to have the right evidence for their case?
Well, Scott, that evidence is what makes or breaks a case. There have been cases where prosecutors have had enough evidence to take a person to trial. Then there are times when there's not enough evidence. It all comes down to the burden of proof, which sometimes can be tough to prove. Courtrooms like this one in Lowndes County have dozens of criminal trials take place each year. Each case is different, but they all have one thing in common. There must be significant evidence connecting the suspect to the alleged crime.
Evidence can come in through testimony, come in through eyewitnesses, it can come through a DNA, come through bullets that have been examined to determine to come from certain guns that may be in the possession of an individual.
Sometimes that evidence can easily connect an individual to the crime.
If you're sitting there on camera showing what you did and it's a clear picture of the person in video, it's hard to get up there and deny that they did something.
But then there are times when it's difficult. WCBI legal expert and defense attorney Jeff Hosford says officers failing to do a thorough investigation and collect all of the necessary evidence can cause big problems for the prosecutor's case.
If an officer investigates a case and they feel like they know the person did it and they just sit back and they base it on that information, and then 2 years later you come to trial and the officer says, well, I just know he did it, but all the evidence that was existing at the time has disappeared, it's hard to convict that person because there is no testimony or there is no factual evidence to tie that person to the crime.
In these instances, when the evidence isn't strong enough or doesn't point in the direction of the person being charged, Hosford says it's common to see prosecutors dismiss the charges being brought against the suspect.
It's a tough spot to be in. I mean, because you got one family grieving, you got the police officers over here saying he did it, and then you got evidence that shows he didn't do it. And as a prosecutor, your job is to say the evidence doesn't prove he did it.
Now, new evidence can come into play at any time as long as it's presented to both parties. Hosford says in those situations, it's common to see prosecutors ask for a continuance, like the trial recently in Wcbi County that we reported on yesterday. For more on that story, just visit our website at WCBI.com.
We've got temperatures still in the 40s across our region. A lot of cloud cover in our area today. A little bit of rain, and now most of that rain moving away, and we have some protective cloud cover, hence the 40s with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. You can see all quiet across our region. The back edge of the clouds here in northwestern Mississippi is down into the upper 30s. In some spots like Greenville at 37, so a sign of things to come later on tonight. So once the clouds clear out, we'll quickly drop into the 30s, low to mid 30s southeast, upper 20s, low 30s northwest, and then the clouds will clear out tonight, and we're looking at a great day. Here's our forecast for Friday. There's Sab right there, enjoying some sunshine and a nice little warm bed, a place to be tonight. But look at all that sunshine. We should be back up to around 50 on Friday. I'm back with your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Mississippi Public University enrollment is down. It follows a downward trend from the last 3 years. Today, we're looking at how options for students who don't choose a four-year college are expanding. Courtney Ann Jackson is in Madison County with a look at what their district is doing.
This isn't a typical classroom, but for Tyler Birdwell, it's the kind where he feels right at home.
Most people, like at my school, they'll have the plan, they'll go to college and they'll take out loans and start automatically owing money to people.
Birdwell says he's always known college wasn't a fit for him.
The way I'd like to do it was, why start off owing people when you just, get out of the gate and get a job.
He's a student in the Madison County School District, and while they haven't slowed down in the area of college prep, at the same time they're expanding the options for students like Birdwell.
It's based on our local needs here with businesses and other community needs is what those programs are based on.
The Career and Technical Center offers a construction class, for example, where they're building a slightly scaled down house.
Construction is one of the fastest growing industries and the salaries for construction have continually rose over the past few years. So our construction program can prepare students to immediately go into the job and workforce.
Mechanics are also in high demand, with fewer folks choosing the career. The instructor says that's making a pipeline to a job even better. Other students are leaving their options open.
I wanted to go into some sort of field that required hands-on. Either I'm going to continue at this or become an engineer at a 4-year degree.
And with the certifications they'll also have the option to enter a well-paying job right out of high school. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Golden Triangle Development Link leaders will unveil the organization's plans for the upcoming year. The public event will be held at the Communiversity tomorrow morning. Part of the presentation will include a study on the Golden Triangle Regional Workforce Analysis, which shows the need for certain workers in the area. The link will discuss its development goals and legislative updates. The big thing is working with partners to ensure a trained workforce is ready for the next big company.
We're looking for advanced manufacturing, people that can do that kind of work, to be able to document what we have here and what we can do here, so when new companies come in, we can assure them that they can get a qualified workforce when they start.
Tomorrow's economic development update will be again at the Communiversity starting at 9 a.m. And Keith, it might be a little bit chilly at 9 o'clock in the morning, but nothing like we've had the last couple of days.
No, it's 30s, 40s in the morning, then we'll warm back up into the low 50s, but we will cool down tomorrow evening just in time for high school football, playoff football, but no weather worries here. Blankets just needed at the stadium with temperatures cooling back down into the 30s. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Okay, we had some cloud cover today, some rain in some spots, not a lot of rain, but it's been chilly this month. If November ended today, it would go down as one of the coldest Novembers on record. Actually, anywhere from number 2 to number 6 across Mississippi, Alabama, and Memphis here in southwestern Tennessee. So one of the coldest starts to the month of November. We've had some record-setting temperatures and still below average here for your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Back closer to average as we get into early next week. So let's talk about football for the weekend. MSU and Alabama, a big game in Starkville. Chilly for the early morning tailgate, but we will be rewarded with a lot of sunshine with highs in the 50s during the course of the game. And in Oxford, LSU coming to town. A big football game up there, great during the day, and then once the sun goes down, we cool down from the 40s into the 30s, so plan accordingly. A live view from Louisville, Mississippi today, our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. The clouds coming on in here. A little bit of rain, especially across the southern parts of the area. Bigger rains over here to our southeast right now, but the back edge of the clouds not too far away, and we'll see a lot of sunshine. But where the clouds are clearing out, temperatures are falling. 35 in Little Rock right now. Speaking of the rain over the last 24 hours, really, let's just say along and south of 82. That's where we had just a little bit of moisture, not too much back to the north. And as I mentioned, the clearing line is slowly advancing our way, and as you sleep through the rest of the night, those clouds will be thinning on out, so we should be mainly clear when you wake up. Temperatures down into the 30s, if not some upper 20s. Upper 40s in Tupelo tomorrow, maybe 50, 52, 53 in the Columbus area. Chilly tomorrow night, and as we get into your Saturday, there you have it. Widespread sunshine, temperatures in the 50s. As we get into Sunday, clouds will increase around here as a moisture-starved system comes our way. But overall, pretty nice weather here for our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are looking at temperatures in the 50s all weekend long and 60s next week.
Hey everyone, we're back with Bobby, and today we want to talk a little bit about something a little bit different, some misconceptions that some folks have about wine.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, while we're sipping, I've just brought a Cremant de Bourgogne from France. This comes from Burgundy.
Very bubbly.
Yes, made in the same method as champagne. It's just not going to cost quite as much, and it's delicious. So
we're going to sip while we get a lesson from Bobby here today on these misconceptions. And one of these misconceptions that we were talking about is like why we get a headache after we drank wine.
Yes, so a lot of people think that wine headaches are caused from sulfites, and that's actually not the case. So French fries, dried fruit, cured meats, candy, soda are all things that have more sulfites than a bottle of wine.
Interesting.
So if you're having an adverse reaction, it's probably from histamines, or you might just need to have a couple glasses of water. So what I typically do is 1 glass of water per glass of wine.
I was going to say, drink a glass of wine, then a glass of
Then a
water.
glass of water.
Then if you want that second glass, go for it.
Absolutely.
And what exactly is a sulfite? Just for folks at home that may not know exactly what a sulfite.
So sulfites actually naturally occur during the fermentation process of wine. So there will be wines that'll be like, oh, this is sulfite free, and that's just not accurate. They just haven't added any extra sulfites, but they naturally occur.
So it's also weird to think that French fries, because I love French fries, have more sulfites. So
Lots of
instead of
processed food.
French fries in my diet, just add a glass of wine or something.
Absolutely, and that's just to keep it preserved and from spoiling.
And then another thing, the aging of wine. That one was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, so a lot of people hear that you should age all of your wine, and actually most wine is meant to be consumed within 1 to 5 years. It all has to do with the level of acidity, tannin structure, the level of fruit in the wine, because as a wine ages, the tannins soften and that acidity comes down a little bit.
Okay. And then another one that you were talking about is the cork versus a screw tap or screw cap.
Yeah. So a lot of people will think that because there's a wine with a screw cap, it's automatically cheaper. But a lot of winemakers, especially high-end winemakers, are moving to screw tops because when you have a cork, the oxygen gets in it. You also have the possibility of having cork taint or TCA, which makes your wine smell like wet cardboard.
And we probably don't want that.
You don't want that. If you ever smell one, it's so bad. And it just naturally occurs on cork. So you never know if it's going to affect your bottle until you open it. So a lot of people have just eliminated it with screw caps.
All right. Well, these are just a few misconceptions that some people have about wine. If you would love to hear more, let us know. We'd like to let you learn some, because I'm learning from this. This
Maybe
is crazy.
part 2.
So, yeah, part 2. All right. Until next time, cheers.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. There are numerous health risks tied to tobacco use, from heart disease to cancer, but there is some good news. Quitting can actually lower those risks. In tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we look at strategies you can use to kick the habit.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gaurav Dutta, part of pulmonology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Tonight, I want to discuss methods to quit smoking. There are many options for managing physical and situational cues to smoke, including prescription medications such as Chantix, which can help reduce cravings and withdrawal symptoms. Over-the-counter nicotine replacement therapies such as patches and gums can also help curb smoking urges and ease withdrawal symptoms. Emotional cues can be managed with the same prescription medications and nicotine replacement therapies used with physical cues, but there are also prescriptions that can help tobacco users who may struggle with depression and also contribute to a happier mood. There are immediate and long-term health benefits of stopping tobacco use. Lowered risk for lung cancer and many other types of cancer. Reduced risk for heart disease, stroke, and peripheral vascular disease, which is narrowing of the blood vessels outside your heart. Reduced heart disease risk within 1 to 2 years of quitting. Reduced respiratory symptoms such as coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath. While these symptoms may not disappear completely, they do not continue to progress at the same rate among people who quit compared with those who continue to smoke. Reduced risk of developing group of lung diseases known as chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, which is one of the leading causes of death in the United States currently. Reduced risk for infertility in women of childbearing age. Women who stop smoking well in advance of getting pregnant also reduce their risk of having a low birth weight baby. Remember, you do not have to go through the cessation process alone. There are many support groups, smoking cessation classes that are held locally that may help you quit or remain in remission. If you want more information on how to quit, you can call the Mississippi Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW or 1-800-784-8669. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Game 3 in the books for the Mississippi State men. Highlights from the hump coming up in sports.
your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The offensive struggles continuing for Mississippi State men's basketball. The Bulldogs playing host to Louisiana Monroe. Forward Reggie Perry may have shined with a double-double. However, 14 turnovers and 41% field goal shooting highlighted plenty of missed opportunity. Let's get to Starkville. Mississippi State hosting the ULM Warhawks. First half. Guard Tyson Carter gets the game going with a mid-range J. MSU goes up 2-0 early. A few plays later, true freshman guard Iverson Molinar on the drive hits the floater. Dogs go up 7-2. The following possession, Bulldogs playing some defense. Guard Robert Woodard gets the steal, throws it to Reggie Perry, does the rest. The one-hand jam for Perry. Dogs now up by 7. Forward Keyshawn Feazell misses the J, but Woodard there for the loose ball, and the corner J putting State up by 6. Later in the half, Perry outlets to Carter, who goes for the finesse layup right at the rim. Bulldogs take a 16-13 lead. Still in the first half, Woodard driving. Gonna miss the shot, but Perry there for the putback. State now leading 21-13. A little bit later on, Perry rebounds and passes to Carter, who finds a flying DJ Stewart on the break. The redshirted freshman with the alley-oop jam. State leading by 8. And a few possessions later, Woodard catches the inbounds pass, knocks down another jumper. He had the shot working all night long. The Bulldogs defense shines to help Mississippi State get the 62-45 win against Louisiana Monroe. Perry leading the way with 14 points and 14 rebounds. Here's head coach Ben Howland after the game.
To allow a team 0 points in transition on defense, hallelujah. That is beautiful. I'm so thankful about that. And that'll be the first thing I mention to our team tomorrow, because we work on it every day. I mean, there's a lot that goes into being back and being set while still being able to go get 13 offensive rebounds.
We just took away from the teams that we've played in the past. You know, everybody else is pressuring the ball. So we've basically worked on that throughout the week and kind of just took it upon ourselves that we want to play harder defense and scramble and do whatever we have to do to make the other team uncomfortable.
Year 3 for Ole Miss football is the first year under head coach Matt Luke that the Rebels have been eligible for a bowl game. With Ole Miss sitting on a 4-6 record, the Rebels will need to beat both first-ranked LSU and Mississippi State to clinch a spot in the postseason. However, even with the Rebels' postseason hopes hanging on by a thread, along with Luke's records trending downward, local reports saying that Luke is expected to return to Ole Miss for a 4th season. According to FootballScoop.com, at over $12 million, Luke's contract buyout, along with offensive coordinator Rich Rodriguez and defensive coordinator Mike McIntyre, it would be too much for the university. For the time being, Ole Miss continues its search for its new athletic director, and Matt Luke prepares to hope the top team in the country this weekend in LSU. A lifelong dream becoming reality this morning at Heritage Academy. Patriots right-handed pitcher Blaze Berry putting ink to paper, signing on the dotted line to become a Diamond Dog, joining head coach Chris Lemonis's program at Mississippi State. During Berry's sophomore season, the 5'10", 180-pound pitcher finishing with a 1.63 ERA, and Berry was instrumental in the Patriots' victorious championship season. Berry saying he's excited to join the team that he grew up cheering on. And the signing celebrations continue. Amory catcher Andon Johnson makes it official by signing on to continue his career with Meridian Community College. The future Eagle, 180 pounds as a catcher, holds a 338 batting average, 17 RBIs, and a 971 fielding average. Scott, once again, plenty of talent, continuing and just doing good things in the area.
It's exciting to see, definitely, for sure. All right,
yes.
Thanks, Courtney. We'll have a last second forecast when we come back. The artist Walter Anderson once wrote, "In order to realize the beauty of man, we must realize his relation to nature." One man's version of that relationship was on display in Columbus tonight. The Columbus Arts Council hosted an exhibit featuring original works from North Mississippi artist Jerry Jones. The showing featured paintings and sculptures inspired by Jones's love for the outdoors. That was a nice picture there. And they're doing it again tomorrow. I don't know who's going to be on display, but I think there's another event out there tomorrow
Saw some
night.
nice deer in that painting there, and I saw a couple of deer on my way out to a school talk today. They were right in the middle of the road, mid-afternoon.
They're out there,
They
that's for sure.
Went on into the woods, but there's a lot of deer out there, so just be advised. Now, this weekend looks great. A lot of sunshine here. Still seasonably cool. We're back to average by the middle of next week.
Courtney said she's bringing out her big old Chicago coat.
Gotta
for
stay
the
warm
football
for
game.
those Friday nights.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you right back here, same time, same place. Some of us. Courtney will be out. You're out in the field tomorrow, so stay warm.
We'll be back tomorrow.
See you later.